But you can tell that this person can do more than 10, and they're going, burp, burp. It's like a truck reversing. Simon Miller, the bald a-hole here, and the big question as always is, am I wearing any pants or trousers for my British friends? You're never going to know, because if I wasn't, I'm not going to get up and show you that I'm not, because nobody needs to see that. And if I am, I want you to think that I'm wearing pants, because I'm a strange guy. Not going to talk about any of this today. I just wanted to plant that seed in your mind. What we are going to talk about is, it's a kind of a hard title to say, is 10 reasons your workout isn't working. We're really going after that word work today, that lovely 4-letter word. But there are some simple things and there are some more complicated things. You may be stuck in a bit of a rut, or you may not actually be looking at your training and your fitness plan, not in the correct way, because there's no right or wrong way, but you just be maybe missing a few things. So hopefully I can use some of the experience I have and give it to you, and you can take it and digest it and decide, do I like it, do I not like it? And hopefully we can just go down a path of happiness and joy. See, I'm not going to say it again because the title's too hard. Let's start the video. Number 10 is that your intensity is off. I don't mean you've got to switch somewhere and you're like, no, I don't turn my intensity button on. If only it was like that. It's kind of what pre-workout does, but you may not want to take it. I don't want to talk about it. But you have to be intense in the gym. Doesn't mean you run around from machine to machine. Doesn't mean you train really quickly like this, like some people do. Doesn't mean you smash your head into a wall, which is still what some people do before they go do athletic competitions. It just means when you are training and when you get to those higher rep ranges, maybe you're starting to fail, 8 rep, 9 rep, 10 rep, 11 rep, 12 rep, you got to push through. You got to be hard. You've got to work that muscle. You've got to break it down. That's what intensity is. I think sometimes people think intensity is listening to really loud music, which is great. I love doing it in the gym, and kind of just making a lot of noise. Right? That's what you see. You'll see people doing bicep curls and they'll have 10s. And look, maybe 10s are heavy for you, which is awesome. I mean it, awesome for doing 10s. But you can tell that this person can do more than 10, and they're going, burp, burp. It's like a truck reversing. It's like, that's not intensity, that's making a noise. Children do that, and if you want to make noise, I personally don't like it, but I'm not going to say anything to you because there's no rules against it, so you're certainly allowed. But that is what intensity is. Intensity is going in there and giving it every little thing you've got, but from an effort point of view, right? It's about effort. You have to work hard in the gym, which is why I don't like that phrase when people go, oh, well, it's 75% diet and 25% training. No, it's not. It's 50-50, and it's probably more like 20-20-20-20-20 because there's so many other things you have to bring into it as well. But if you really do think you're hitting a plateau or you don't think you're seeing progress, up your intensity. And of course, that may not be your problem, but that's it at number 10. Number 9 is a more specific one, but some people, they want to lose fat, but they are spot targeting fat loss. You cannot do this. I get questions like it all the time. How do I lose fat in my tricep? How do I lose fat around my belly? How do I lose fat in my ass? How do I lose fat in my eye? Like, your body will just decide where it wants to lose the fat. You cannot choose where you're going to lose the fat. You can, work on your arms specifically and your legs and so on and so forth. But when it comes to fat, you just got to drop weight and you just got to drop fat, and then you just have to see what the hell your body's going to do. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Do you know where I keep all of my fat? In my ass. In my flipping ass. I'm walking along waddling with this massive ass hanging out, and people are going, ha ha, look at that fat ass. I'm like, leave me alone, it's really unfair. And if I wanted to put a beer can on there, or a can of Coke, or a Diet Coke, it would probably rest. I have a giant ass, really helpful when it comes to squatting. Sometimes does it bother me? Yes. Sometimes would I like to lose more weight there? Yes. But then I go, well, I guess I'd rather have it in my ass than my belly, which is where nobody wants it, right? And, by, what's the word? In terms of percentages, a lot of men hold more fat in their chest. They just do, but that can be a good thing. This got misconstrued last time. That can be a good thing in the sense, in jumpers or t-shirts, your chest will look better. And it's much better that your chest looks bigger than your belly. But if you are trying to spot target fat loss, stop it now. You are wasting your time. You can't do it. Anyone that does tell you is lying or is trying to sell you a supplement, I guarantee. Number 8, this goes back to my 2020 analogy. You're not getting enough sleep. I kid you not, I am in this camp. I struggle to sleep, and I do notice straight away when I do start to recover properly, I'm more productive in the gym. I'm less bloated. My body is just working more productively, which is essentially what you're trying to do on your fitness journey. You're trying to get your body to work as productively as you 100% possibly can in order to, again, lose some weight, put on some weight, get muscles, do a dance of joy. So do not neglect it. I know you can get sleep aids, natural stuff. I don't like the chemical stuff because you wake up all groggy, like, oh, the zombies are coming. And imagine you do take a chemical aid, like, because you can get Nitol, both natural and chemical. And I've tried the chemical one. like I say, I hate it. And if I did wake up the next day into zombie apocalypse, I'm like, I can't run away. I'm really going to regret it, right? I'm going to have to down some pre-workout, and then you're going up and down, which is ironic if you watch me on What Culture Wrestling. But do not underestimate the power of sleep. I promise you, get into a routine. I mean, the ideal is 8 hours. Who the hell can get 8 hours? So 7 hours would be good too. But always put it in your priority list, and I promise you will see benefits. Number 7 is that somebody has told you that you should be eating back your calories. I don't understand how anybody is able to do this. Now, of course, if you are trying to put on muscle, but you're also wanting to do cardio, you should be eating back your calories, or you should be making sure you're in a calorie surplus as opposed to a calorie deficit. But if you're trying to lose weight, right, and you're going to eat back your calories, it means you're going off the nonsense number the cardio machine is telling you. And sometimes you can do half an hour of cardio machine. It goes, oh, you did 4,500 calories. No, you didn't. Like, it's fine as long as you're using the same piece of equipment, because if the next day you burn 5,000 calories, you haven't burned 5,000 calories, but you burned more than yesterday. And that's all your brain needs to know. But if you then go eat 4,500 calories back, I mean, not only should you not do it anyway, because the whole point is you're trying to enter a calorific deficit, so you want to burn those calories and keep them burned, but you're probably going to be overeating. So we'll keep this one nice and short. Don't eat back your calories. Number 6 is that you're not changing it up, right? I get it. I totally understand. If you're focused on a program, and as we're going to talk about later, you do have to give programs time to work. But if you really have got to the end of your tether with it, and you're just not seeing results, and you're not seeing progress, you just need to change it up. Not every single training program is going to work from everyone. Maybe you're doing the legendary push-pull legs split, which is my favorite split in the world. Push, pull, legs, rest, repeat. But it may not work for you. Maybe you need a specific arm day if you're trying to get your arms bigger. Maybe you need to kick your legs ass 3 times a week. I don't know. I wouldn't suggest that, but only you can figure it out. You need sometimes to just look at things for how they are. Do you know what I mean? Look at them in black and white and stop trying to guess, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Maybe the plan just isn't working. And I've been there. I've tried stuff, and sometimes you get really excited about a new idea that you've never read about, and you find it, oh, that sounds really interesting. You give it a few weeks, and because you're so desperate for it to be successful, you kind of carry on, but you will know. Now, of course, again, I don't want to, in case you don't watch to the end of the video, you do have to give things time to kick in the gym. It's not like you do a plan for a month and go, oh, it's not working, I'll do something else. You haven't given it time to work, but at the same time, if you know deep down it's not for you, it just means it's not for you. And it doesn't matter what I said, doesn't matter what Greg Doucette, Athlete Next, anybody on YouTube Fitness, your mate that's massive, it doesn't matter what they say, because their eyes aren't in your body, which means you are the center of your world and you have to put you first. Number 5 is your diet. It's your diet. I think most people are kind of good about going to the gym and kicking its ass, right? Going back to number 10, having that intensity. But what is a lot harder is trying to keep your diet on track. And that's because most people try to eat clean all the time, you know, green, white, chicken, veg. Whereas what you need to do is you need to almost eradicate that word diet, and you need to find a bunch of food groups that you enjoy eating that you don't categorize as good or bad. They're just what you happen to consume that day. And that way you will just exist and you will be enjoying your food. And much like going to the gym, if you're enjoying something, it makes it far easier. Losing weight really sucks. It sucks. You have to drop things that you want to eat. You have to have a load of willpower. You have to have a load of determination. And you've got to be really, really disciplined. And sometimes you don't want to do these 3 things because you had a bad day, because you broke up with your partner, because maybe there's some personal issue going on. You're worried about money. And eating a massive pizza makes you feel good because your brain will release dopamine, and dopamine is a feel-good hormone. And unfortunately, then you eat it and realize, well, I don't feel better at all, but it's still, as long as it made you feel good for a little bit, it's okay to do in moderation. But these are things that you're going to have to overcome. These are hurdles you're going to have to get round. If you are not, it's more about losing weight than putting on weight, but if you're not losing the right amount of weight, you just need to eat less. And nobody wants to eat less. Eating is the best thing in the world. Number 4 is you're lifting too light, which ties into number 3, you're lifting too heavy. I mean it. You need to find a happy medium. I will always implore that you should go for time under tension, which literally means you want to get to those 12 plus rep ranges, and you want to make sure that you're controlling that muscle. You're going 1 second up and you're going 2 seconds down at the top of the exercise. You're squeezing some biceps, you're squeezing away, and you're doing everything you can. But you don't want to do that too lightly. You don't want to be getting up into the 30 rep ranges, because then your muscles aren't going to grow. But at the same token, you don't want to be doing bicep curls with 400 kilograms and just going like you're some kind of wounded duck. You know, you have to find a perfect, which again is really hard, but you do have to find this perfect middle ground where you are lifting strong enough so that you are getting stronger and breaking the muscle down, but also that you're putting your muscle under that tension in order for it to grow. So you can go too light and you can go too heavy. Sometimes is it all right to have a heavy day? Of course. Sometimes is it all right to have a super light day? Of course. But if you do it constantly either way, I don't think you're going to see where you want to get to, unless you are training to be a super strong guy. Maybe you're a power lifter, a strong man, whatever. Then, of course, you want to be aiming for 1 rep maxes. But I find most people that want to talk on this channel, they just want to look great, right? You just want to look really good. And ultimately, while it's awesome to lift big, I bet right now if I said to you, if you are one of these people, of course, you can either lift really strong, but you don't look like you do, or you can lift barely anything, but you look like an absolute, princess, warrior, king man, dude, woman, you'd be like, I pick that one. That sounds really good. And I'll be honest with you, every time, I just want to be big and jacked. Number 2, here we're going to put it in case someone has hung around, appreciate it. You haven't given the process enough time to work. 4 weeks is not long enough. 6 weeks is not long enough. 8 weeks is not long enough. I would even go as far as saying 12 weeks isn't long enough. Maybe by 12 weeks, you can actually decide that it's not. This stuff doesn't just happen. And I get it. I remember when I had a personal trainer for the first time and I got his new plan. I'd never heard any of these things. It was like the window of joy had been opened to me. I was like, this is it. This is what is going to turn me into a big jack guy. 6 weeks later, I wasn't a big jack guy. I'm saying to him, dude, what's going on? You're meant to turn me into a big jack guy. He's like, in 6 weeks, you impatient dick. And I was like, that's a really good point. Yeah, I am being an impatient dick. But we are impatient dicks because we want to be big and jacked tomorrow. But do always remember that if you have started on a journey, there's that word again, but everyone else uses it, so I'll use it. You have to get to the end. Like, this may mean nothing to my USA friends or, non-England friends. But if you are down in Southampton and you have to drive to Newcastle, which is around about 7, 8, 9 hour drive, you can't get to 3.5 hours and go, well, I want to be there now, so I'm just there. Or I'm just going to give up. It's like, no, you've got to go the rest of the way if you want to get to Newcastle. I don't know why. It's just the 2 furthest places I could find. One's really south and one's really north. You got to put in the rest of the time. You got to put in the extra 50%. As we already mentioned, maybe sometimes does your car break down or you realize you're in the wrong car and you were swimming and you should have driven. Yes, so you need to change things up. But that is not always the way. Continue driving that car, get to Newcastle, and when you are there, then maybe you can change it up because your body needs a little bit of shocking. But you just have to accept that it's going to take ages. I know, Simon, you say that all the time. Yes, I do, because nobody told me when I was younger, and I would have loved it if somebody just slapped me around and said, listen, you moron, just keep going, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be. I basically only did it because I'm so flippin' hard-headed. I'm so hard-headed. I was like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And luckily, I got some kind of results. But I can completely understand why somebody would want to give up. Of course, you want to get that achievement and those targets as soon as humanly possible, but just keep on trucking. And number 1 is you're not having fun. You're not having fun. We all forget this and we all start stressing out about the gym. And I know a lot of my lists end like this, but I'm going to ram it into your head until it's just like breathing. You're just going to do it. Look, some things you're going to have to do that suck. Lunges suck, but you don't have to do lunges if you don't want. You don't have to go to the gym. Just figure out what kind of fitness stuff you want to do and go and do it. Right? That's why I don't like all this Instagram stuff, but what's your excuse? And you're a loser, you're a pile of crap. No, you're a good person, and you are just trying to figure out what kind of shape you want to get into and how you're going to get there. And nobody else has the answer to that other than you. And if you're having fun, your workout will work. Of course it will. When you're in a playground when you were a kid and your mum and dad went, time to go home, you're like, fuck off, mum and dad. Rare F-bomb. I don't want to go home. And then you did and you resented it. And then you got over it and realized that's just how life works. It's the same with the gym. If a gym becomes a playground, you're going to be look forward to going. Look, I've had a little behind the scenes. I've had a really difficult day today. Not going to talk about it. It's super late when I'm recording this, but I wanted to get the content up and I'm going to the gym, one of those 24-hour ones. Thank goodness they exist. I don't feel like it's a burden. I don't feel like, oh, I can't believe it. I actually am. I feel privileged that I have access to a gym that's open up all day and I get to have a quick workout before I go to bed. If you can get yourself in that mindset and you can find the type of fitness that does the same thing for you, you will become the damnedest hero anybody has ever seen within your own head. And there you go. 10 reasons why your workout isn't working out or something like that. I can't call it that. It's just too confusing. Anyway, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, ding, ding. Then you know when another video is going live. There's another video on the screen right now. Click it. YouTube loves that stuff. Or maybe you're bored with me for the day. I understand. That's what my parents always say to me. Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. Patreon.com/Simon316. Merchandise, Simon.BigCartel.com. Flex's shirts on the way. I'll let you know, and I will see you soon.